Hello and welcome again to Forgotten Temples with myself, Mr. B. Now then, we are deep in the jungle of the Kulen mountain range. Can you see this gentleman here? He's my guide I've had to employ because finding these temples in this jungle is really hard. As you can see, we're just going through a bit of a ravine here. I think that's what you call it. And it is up here that there will be some temples, but they are really difficult to find. And when you keep in mind that this, in fact, was once a city, in fact, one of the early capital cities of the Khmer Empire, then you know we are certainly on the track of forgotten temples. And onward we go. Oh my God, this is quite the epic walk. And I need to get up here. There we go. It's proper jungle experience, this. And you could see one of the reasons I came here. Look, you see this stone. You don't have far to go when you've got stone protruding like this in your jungle. It even makes a jolly good base. Look at this, you see. So up here is yet another forgotten temple, and I can't wait to introduce myself. And this is what we initially find, and it's a temple in the jungle, but it's not our temple because my guide is standing over here and we have yet further to go. So originally I was a bit disappointed, but I think he's got something in store for us. And for the second time, after even more walking, I see a clearing ahead. But unfortunately, yet again, it's another broken down temple. Now, these are from the 8th, 9th century, and of course dedicated to those Hindu gods. And it's a shame and disappointing that we can't see something a bit more grand. But what is a bit more disappointing is I honestly think my guide is lost. And I failed to notice that there's even another mound of bricks. Again, another 8th, 9th century temple that is literally just evaporating away into the soil itself, being reclaimed by the jungle. But for us, it is this way we must continue. And here you see me emerging from Prasat Tob. Now this is not our target temple. Our target temples are that way. And isn't it incredible? We've already come across 3 ancient sites and the majority are not even named. And maybe you're wondering, well, what's going on here, B? You're wandering around in the middle of a jungle and there's all these sites. Well, the reason is we're in the heart of an ancient city up on the Kulen Mountains. And as such, this ancient city has more to give because up that jungle path is a group of 5 temples clustered together. Now I'm going to shoot a bit more of this because it's just so glorious walking through the jungle. It is an absolutely wonderful place, apart from it is trying to kill you at every single turn. I mean, in the jungle, if something's not trying to bite you, stab you, or poison you, it's dehydrating you all the way. And my goodness, I'm now really thirsty. And we've just come into yet another clearing. And here, yet again, which I think is the 4th or 5th time, is another temple that is just literally fallen into the ground. This once mighty temple, which was a home to a god, is now, well, a shadow of its former self. But for us, it is to continue on this way because there is a further temple up here. So here it is. This has been our target. And as I say, Pram is the number, which is 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, it may look like a building site, but one must then activate your imagination, because then the story becomes apparent, because I'm in the Kulen mountain range, and this was an ancient city that covered 40 square kilometers. It was one of the first capitals of the King Jayavarman. And it was here tens of thousands of people lived and visited. And to have a site that's called Pram, 5, as in 5 temples, then this place was really, really important. But all we've got left are the remnants. And have a look. Isn't this reassuring? There's a bottle of water here because somebody else has trekked up here, a local, and left an offering. Because this is a yoni, which represents the lady's female parts, and in here would have gone a Shiva Linga, which represents the male penis. And then what would have happened is water would have been poured over and gone down this channel and then come out here as blessed water. We've seen so many of these, he says, falling over. So yes, it looks so very abandoned. But 5 temples atop a hill, in a jungle, in a lost, abandoned city where a king once dwelled. It was worth every single step. And here it is, that final remnants of what was the Fist of 5 temples. 5 temples together. And now, only this. But I'm still grateful for it, because look of the journey it has led me on just to come here. And it's not just the case that this temple is exceptionally hard to find. It is impossible, in fact, without guidance. It is also dangerous because in the Kulen Mountains, it is littered with landmines. A friend of mine actually phoned me from Thailand before I left and said, "Mr. B, don't do what you normally do." And I said, "What is that? Act like a complete buffoon?" And he said, "Well, yes, that, but also don't go wandering off in the jungle because of the landmines." In Cambodia, it is estimated there is 5 to 10 million bits of ordnance still in the ground. So it's a pretty journey, but guess what? It could take your life. This is why a guide in a situation like this is a very, very wise move. This has been Mr. B of Forgotten Temples. As always, please like, subscribe and comment. And if by chance you could drop a few coins into my Patreon account, it would help me go those few miles down the road and build this library. The address for that is patreon.com/temples. So, until next time, this is an exceptionally thirsty Mr. B, whose throat is even drying out now, wishing you absolutely nothing but the very best. You take good care.